Okay, so you've been going back and forth between DJI's Osmo Pocket 4P and Insta360's Luna Ultra. Both of them are pocket gimbal cameras that look almost identical from across the room. They cost roughly the same and on paper do roughly the same things. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what makes these cameras actually different. We'll look at image quality, low light performance, zooming, tracking, audio, accessories, and a bunch of other stuff. So by the end, you're gonna know which one is right for you. Let's get into it. First, let's look at the actual cameras themselves. Both of them land at almost exactly the same weight, around 230 grams. They're also very close in size, with the Luna going for a horizontal lens configuration and the Pocket 4P went the vertical route. The Pocket 4P is a lot more top heavy in comparison, but both of these feel very good in the hand. The controls are easy to reach with your thumb, and both of them have a very solid build quality. The joystick on the Pocket 4P is that new smooth DJI joystick, like what we're used to on DJI's latest gimbals. So you get a more nimble 360-degree motion, which allows for much more delicate and precise control. The Luna's joystick is a bit more stiff and linear, like it has a more clicky, less smooth feel to it, kind of like older DJI joysticks. Another detail that I haven't seen a lot of people mention is what happens when you turn these cameras off. The Luna tucks its lenses away vertically so they are protected, and you can easily slide it in your pocket like this. The Pocket 4P folds horizontally with the lenses exposed, and the wider profile when folded actually makes it a little bit harder to slide it into your pocket, which I guess is a bit ironic given the name. Now, the lenses do have a slightly raised structure around them, which will help prevent the risk of scratching. And on protection, the Luna Ultra actually comes with a proper hard case that covers the gimbal and the screen right in the box, even in the base bundle. The Pocket 4P only comes with a soft pouch, so no other protection. The old Pocket 3 still came with a proper case, and the Pocket 4 even still had a gimbal protector, but this one has none of that, just that soft case, and it's definitely something that I wish DJI would have kept for the 4P. Alright, now to what actually matters most, image quality. First, looking at a few shots straight out of camera in standard profile, everything set to auto, the Luna Ultra tends to give you a more vibrant, more saturated, and warmer image compared to the Pocket 4P. It also tends to expose a bit brighter in comparison. The Pocket 4P, on the other hand, is more neutral, exposes slightly darker, and holds onto highlight detail much better. If we look at a few shots with some really bright areas in them, you'll see that the Luna tends to clip the highlights a bit sooner than the Pocket 4P, and that's where that higher dynamic range of the DJI is coming through. Skin tones are interesting on both of these cameras. In a controlled environment and shooting in D-Log 2, I think the DJI looks better than the Luna. It's cleaner, more accurate, and more filmic, for a lack of a better word. However, I did notice that I was getting pretty crazy moire in these shots on the DJI in D-Log 2. It wasn't as strong in the standard color profile, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. When shooting outside in daylight, the Luna is definitely a bit warmer again, whereas the Pocket 4P is a bit more neutral. But honestly, I think both of them look good, and I really can't say one is better than the other. I did notice that the Pocket 4P somehow made my skin look a lot softer, although I didn't have any of the beauty effects or anything like that turned on. Alright, now let's compare some of the log footage, and this is where the Pocket 4P definitely shines. DJI now gives you full D-Log plus a new profile called D-Log 2 with a claimed 17 stops of dynamic range. And in practice, D-Log 2 is actually really impressive. You can easily bring back a lot of highlights in very bright shots or in high dynamic range scenes. And in darker scenes, it's easy to lift the shadows and recover a lot of details from, for example, an underexposed shot. The Luna Ultra also shoots 10-bit log, it's called iLog, and this is Insta360's first ever camera doing this, which is worth remembering. The colors out of it are really good, and in good lighting, it grays beautifully. Its dynamic range sits roughly around where DJI's regular D-Log sits, so it's definitely not bad at all. Now, if you've watched any other reviews of the Luna, you've probably heard of people having an issue with Luna's auto ISO. So basically, when the Luna was on auto ISO with a capped maximum, so let's say maximum ISO 800, and it couldn't reach a correct exposure with that cap, it would boost the image digitally instead of just letting the shot go dark. That created a lot of noise, and the camera would then aggressively noise reduce the image to clean it up, and you ended up with a soft, mushy shot. So I checked this in my own little test: a dark room, a focus chart, and 3 different clips. Shot 1 is at manual ISO 1600, shot 2 is on auto ISO capped at ISO 400, and shot 3 is on auto ISO uncapped. And on my camera, with the current firmware update, which was released July 18, it just doesn't happen. As you can see, the capped clip came out darker, which is exactly what it should do, and sharpness also held up across all 3 clips. So did this firmware update fix this issue? Well, I'm not sure because it doesn't really call it out specifically, but I can only tell you that I did not see this issue on the current firmware on my camera. Now, DJI's D-Log 2 actually has a few of its own catches. D-Log 2 only works on the main wide-angle camera. When you switch to the telephoto, you can't use it, and you have to actually manually switch to regular D-Log. And that really kind of sucks because then your footage doesn't fully match when you're switching lenses, plus you're wasting time having to switch color profile every time you want to zoom in or out. So I really hope that this is something DJI is able to fix with a firmware update. Another difference between the two is that the Luna Ultra shoots up to 8K, but to be honest, I would just ignore it. In 4K, the sensor actually combines pixels for a cleaner image with better dynamic range, and honestly, the 8K files show more shadow noise without a big detail improvement. When it comes to low light performance, it's pretty simple. The Pocket 4P is consistently better in low light. Noise is cleaner and more film-like. There's a lot more detail in low light shots, and colors stay truer as well. Don't get me wrong though, the Luna Ultra isn't necessarily bad. For a first generation camera in this category, it does really well, but it leans harder on noise reduction, and you really see that softness in the image. Both cameras also have dedicated low light modes. In the Luna, you can then go up to 4K 60, whereas the DJI caps at 4K 30 in this mode. That might be important for you if you want to shoot slow motion in low light situations, but overall, the Pocket 4P is still the better low light camera. So both cameras have 2 lenses, and they are conceptually the same idea. You've got a wide angle lens around 20mm equivalent for everyday shooting, and then a tighter, roughly 60mm equivalent telephoto for portraits, product shots, and compression. You will notice that the 3x zoom and the 6x zoom is actually a bit tighter on the Pocket 4P compared to the Luna. Although the image quality between the 2 telephotos is actually very close, and both of them give you nice background blur and separate the subject nicely, I would say that the out of focus areas on the Pocket 4P look smoother and less digital compared to the Luna. The way you zoom in on these cameras is, however, very different. The Luna Ultra has a zoom slider under the screen. You push it and step through 1x, 2x, 3x, 6x, or 12x. Or you can hold and slide for a smooth continuous zoom. Or you can press and hold the screen here and do quick zooming between the different modes. On Pocket 4P, you press the custom zoom button. One click gets you to 3x, double click goes to 6x, and click again to go to 1x. If you want to do a smooth continuous zoom, you flip your joystick from tilt control to zoom control and then just use the joystick. A small detail here: if you do a continuous zoom on both of these cameras, you'll see when the camera switches from one lens to the other. On the Pocket 4P, it is a bit more noticeable than on the Luna Ultra, but it's there on both of them. So if you really want to do a long continuous zoom, it's not going to be super smooth on either of them. At the extreme end of both of these cameras, the 12x zoom, you're digitally cropping into the image, so you are losing image quality here, but it's still a very cool feature to have on these Pocket cameras, and I think they both look very similar when it comes to image quality. One really cool Luna Ultra advantage here: its telephoto lens focuses down to about 15 centimeters, so you're able to get proper macro shots without any accessories. When it comes to slow motion, it looks like a DJI win on paper, but I think it's actually a Luna win in practice. The Pocket 4P shoots 4K at up to 240 frames per second on the main camera and 4K 200 FPS on the telephoto. Those are impressive numbers, and in bright light, it actually looks really good. But it lives in a dedicated slow motion mode you have to switch into. It only works in the standard picture profile, so no log, and it plays back already slowed down, so you've lost the flexibility to decide later. The Luna Ultra tops out at 4K 120 on both lenses, but 120 is just another frame rate option, same as 24, 25, 30 or 60 FPS. You can shoot it in log and it plays back at full speed, so you can slow it down and post exactly where you want to. So basically DJI gives you higher frame rates and more dramatic slow motion, while Insta360 offers a smaller number with a more flexible workflow. So if pure slow motion capability is what you're after, the Pocket 4P is the way to go. The autofocus system on the DJI is a bit more advanced compared to the Luna Ultra. It's got single and continuous autofocus plus registered face priority. You can register up to 3 people in priority order. The Luna Ultra only has single or continuous autofocus. When it comes to tracking, on the Luna you can click the joystick and it will automatically find and track a subject. You can also tap the screen to activate tracking. The 4P doesn't auto-recognize a subject that's not a person when you click the joystick, so you have to tap the screen. When it comes to their tracking capabilities, they perform very similarly. Both of them do a really good job at reacquiring a subject once it goes behind something and comes back out. I couldn't see a really noticeable difference between the two here. Also in 3x mode, the performance was very similar between the two cameras. Both of them did a really good job at following me wherever I went and reacquiring me when I briefly disappeared. In 6x mode, you can see that they are both having a harder time keeping track of me and reacquiring me whenever I go behind the tree. One time the Pocket 4P is a bit faster, the other time the Luna. So again, I would say performance is pretty similar here. This is the built-in audio on the DJI Pocket 4P. This is the built-in audio on the Insta360 Luna Ultra. So as you can tell, both cameras have decent onboard microphones, and both companies also have solid wireless microphone ecosystems now. But the Luna Ultra does something very clever here. The Luna's detachable screen here also doubles as a wireless microphone, which is honestly a pretty clever design because I can walk away from the camera and I always have a microphone there. The controllers are another very interesting difference between these two cameras. The Luna Ultra's screen pops off and works exactly like it does when attached. It also powers the camera on and off remotely, and it's just a really great built-in remote controller design overall. The Pocket 4P's remote is a separate accessory that it seems DJI adapted from the Osmo Mobile 8. It's a 3x2 screen on a 16:9 camera, so you get a very small image with black bars. You can monitor, move the gimbal, zoom in and out, but you can't change the resolution or any of the camera settings. You also don't get the color recovery mode, so when you're shooting in log, you're seeing the log image on the remote. You also can't remotely turn on or off the camera, plus you obviously need to charge this remote separately. So it's obvious that the DJI remote was more of an afterthought and not so much an integrated part of the design like with the Luna Ultra. And now a few other quick but important differences between these two cameras. The Pocket 4P has 103 gigs of internal storage. The Luna Ultra only has 47 gigs internal. DJI's transfer speeds are also roughly twice as fast, which adds up if you're constantly offloading footage. Vertical shooting is much better on the Luna. On the Pocket 4P, once you flip the screen in vertical orientation, it will physically cover the custom buttons, which is kind of annoying. On the Luna, all the buttons stay accessible when the screen is in vertical orientation. If you want to use these cameras as a webcam or for live streaming, the Pocket 4P is basically your only option because the Luna doesn't support this feature. The ND filter and wide-angle lens system on the Luna is much better than on the Pocket 4P in my opinion. They're magnetic, so it's really easy to quickly snap on or off a different filter. The ones on the Pocket 4P are similar to what you might know from the Air 3S, so you kind of twist and lock or unlock the filter. And I personally don't really like this system because you're kind of struggling against the gimbal, and it's honestly not a very nice way of changing NDs or adding that wide-angle lens. Both of these cameras have a fill light. The fill light on the Pocket 4P is very easy and quick to attach, and it connects to the camera, so it's powered and controlled via the camera, which is really nice. You can also tilt the light in a few different ways, so point it whichever way you need it. The fill light on the Luna Ultra is a bit strange, I guess. You attach the light to this mount, and the mount is honestly a bit flimsy and doesn't feel very high quality. Mounting it to the Luna is also a bit of a strange system, and it locks with this latch, which again feels pretty low quality, to be honest. You also can't control the light via the camera, and you need to charge it separately. The Luna Ultra has a built-in tripod, so no extra accessory needed for that. I will say this is not the most sturdy or solid tripod solution. It's great that it's integrated, but it is very minimalistic. On the DJI, you've got that classic tiny tripod we're familiar with from the other Osmo Pocket series. It's definitely a lot more bulky, and you have to carry that around with you, but it is a lot more sturdy than the one on the Luna Ultra. So which one should you get? Well, let's just say that both of them are genuinely great in their own way. I would say get the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P if you care most about image quality and dynamic range. If you grade your footage and you shoot in low light regularly. If you already own DJI gear and want everything to work together. I would say that the DJI feels more like the professional camera out of both of these. But get the Insta360 if you're a solo creator making YouTube, travel, or social content. If you care about that detachable screen, that's also a microphone. If you shoot mostly in good light, if you don't really care about shooting log footage, and if you just want a camera that is easy and fun to use. And maybe ask yourself, if both of these cameras were sitting on a table in front of you right now with the same price, which one would you actually pick? Drop it down in the comments because I would love to know your answers. Anyway, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.